So guys, I'm here with the Mukhi sisters today.
Hi.
Hi guys. How are you
Mukhi
doing?
sisters missing one.
Exactly. So we
Zina.
have only two of the Mukhi sisters.
Yes.
Amazing. So a lot of the readers are very the Harper's readers are very familiar with the Mukhi sisters brand. But can you guys take us a little bit into the history of how it all began and how it all started?
It all started 3 generations ago, actually. My father, who's from India, and his family. So basically, it's a family business. And then our grandfather and his brothers and cousins moved to the Middle East. They were based in Beirut. And then my dad met our mom and they got married. And my mom also became a jeweler. To make a very long story short. So basically, we grew up in a family of jewelers on both sides. And I've always wanted to have my own brand, my own company ever since I was a child. So when I felt I was ready, I asked my sisters. And so they immediately said yes. It was a chance for us to be independent, to share our style, to bring our flavor, to add our flavor to the market. I've been working with my parents ever since I was a kid, you know. So trends were very different until I think the early 2000s when we started to see affordable luxury entering the market in fashion and in design, basically. And it started to enter the jewelry industry. So this is when I noticed that, okay, so women want to wear something that's easier to use, to wear, that's more comfortable, that's not that formal. Before, you know, they used to wear the matching sets even during the days. I mean, especially in the Middle East and Lebanon during the war, women would go out wearing their jewelry. Yeah, and so little by little we started seeing bracelets with chains, more easy to wear, let's say, jewelry. And today it has reached a point at a time where it became like an extension of the human body. For example, you see the huge ear cuffs. This is one of the examples where you see it's not an earring anymore that's feminine or like playful. It's like really you have something like a massive earphone on your ear. So even aesthetics have changed. Now, of course, you have a lot of styles and different tastes in the market. So whatever happens, I believe that nothing will ever replace the beauty of classical jewelry, for example. But trends keep on evolving, and I think it's a beautiful thing. Now, as a designer on a personal level, I'm not very much into trends. I believe that we're somewhere in between. Because at Mukhi Sisters, it's all about sharing our style, and it's very personal.
So how would you define your aesthetic?
Our style is very bohemian chic, meaning that we love stacking, we love colors. Color gemstones are like everything to us, you know. We get our energy from them. They're so captivating. So our style is bohemian chic. We have every year we present a collection, but we have three collections that have been with us since day one, and each of these collections represents the style of one of us. For example, Ever Yours is a collection of timeless pieces with diamonds, emeralds, so precious gemstones. And you're more on the classical style, and it's really Mina's style of jewelry.
Like you see, I'm wearing the pearls, and I'm wearing a chain with several charms, you know what I mean?
And I'm wearing...
Yes, the love coin.
The love coin.
Exactly, I'm wearing the love coin as well.
So, and then you have another collection called Contagious, which is all about Zinat style, and it's mostly of one-offs. So we have like we use special stones, and each one is unique. We can't even reproduce them because it's literally just the stone. They're not commercial stones. They have very interesting designs, and it's more about Zinat's style. Zinat is an interior designer before being a jeweler, and she has this eye. She can spot things immediately. She has this avant-garde vision of things. So this is why Contagious is about Zinat's style. And then you have Queen Vicky, which is more about vintage pieces. And it's I love everything that's vintage when it comes to jewelry, furniture. And so when you combine these three styles together, you kind of get, you get Mukhi sisters.
Yeah. So then now you've kind of described that all of you are so different and you have your own aesthetics, and clearly you guys also have your own like strong personalities. So how is it like working together?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It was quite challenging at the beginning. But you know what? It's beautiful, as Maya said. I mean, I'm not the designer of the brand. It's Maya and Zinat. I am the commercial director. You would be seeing me the most in international shows or at the boutique in downtown in Beirut.
Yeah.
I definitely refer what's needed, you know, or certain stones to be used. And it's up to them to come up with something beautiful, you know.
So let's take it to around a year ago. I think it was about a year ago when we first met, which was during the Fashion Trust Arabia here in Qatar. So how did you initially sign up for the Fashion Trust? How did you hear about it? And then what kind of like motivated you guys to be a part of it?
Well, it was quite interesting. Last year when Fashion Trust Arabia approached us, you know, we were like, why? And we had several questions to ask, you know, this big NGO coming to give you a fund, having nothing in return. You know, we asked ourselves many questions. So, and they kept coming after us, you know, and we want you to apply. And at the end, Tanya Faris comes to the boutique in downtown, and she's like, here I am, ask me anything you want, and I'm ready to answer.
I love that.
Yeah, it was amazing. And when she came, we had a great discussion about Fashion Trust Arabia and why we should apply, and you know that we have the potential. So you know what, we discussed, the three of us, and we were like, you know what, let's give it a try. Win or no win, we are already considered winners, you know. We've been 10 years in the market last year, so this is quite an achievement as well, you know. Yeah, so this is how it happened, actually.
Yeah. And then how was the entire experience of being a part of it?
I went through different stages.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, I was like, who is Fashion Trust Arabia? Who pays any attention to designers in the Middle East, and even more to jewelers? I mean, personally, I had never heard of anything like this. I mean, to have someone knocking on your door saying, "Hi, how are you? Why don't you apply? We want to help. We don't want anything in return." So I thought it was, and so when we were in Qatar, when we arrived there, it was a bit overwhelming, you know, to be surrounded by all these celebrities and all these successful designers, international designers. It was quite intimidating to me, at least. And so I felt like I didn't want to be judged, you know. I love Mukhi sisters. It's my baby. What's going to happen now, etc. But like everything that was going on in my head was not real. Everyone was so nice to us, all the designers, the international designers, like they were so supportive, they were so nice. They actually took the time to read our files, you know, and they knew who they were talking to. They knew us by name, by category. Like it was really nice. It was a beautiful experience. It was actually very empowering.
It was interesting, Abdullah, because we were it was an opportunity to be close to them, And, we were sharing our side of our story, and they were sharing theirs. And we had great encounters with like Alexander Wang,
DVF,
my God,
Jean-Baptiste Valli,
Sheikh Mayasa also, it was quite impressive, and they were taking their time to look at each piece my sisters created and listening to us, even if it was just for a couple of minutes. But trust me, those couple of minutes were important to us, because we were learning also, It was very interesting. I mean, whoever has the opportunity to apply must apply.
Yeah. And who was the most, who are you looking forward to the most to review your collection?
One that I really remember was when DVF came to our booth, and she started seeing the jewelry, and then she started trying them on, and it was like a perfect match. The pieces, the colors of the gemstones on her fingers, the earrings, I mean, it was so beautiful, and she was really admiring our work, and she was appreciating it. And to me it was like, wow, to see a lady with so much history behind her. She has seen so much, and to appreciate what we're doing, like really genuinely, it meant a lot to us. And then you have also Alexander Wang.
How have you benefited, and how has your brand grown?
The first thing that came naturally with the award is the brand recognition.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that will be forever in our portfolio, that we're an award-winning brand. This is number one. Number two, so after the encounter with DVF, she personally asked to have a Mukhi Sisters pop-up in her New York flagship store.
That is amazing.
I mean, I was like, what? Am I reading it correctly? I would like to say that I learned, by the way, several things from Fashion Trust Arabia.
Yeah.
Number one, I would like to say that they created a community. And this is something wonderful, because it's a regional community that connects designers from different industries. Mm-hmm. So you have fashion designers, jewelry designers, accessory designers from Lebanon, anywhere in the GCC, Morocco. I mean, this is wonderful, because I don't think that we would have met each other ever. I don't see the odds of this happening. And then it's not only a one-time thing, because now we got to meet some designers from this year's Fashion Trust. So it's really a growing community. I also got something from being part of Fashion Trust, not as a designer, not as a businesswoman, but as a human being. And they made me want to become kinder and more helpful.
Yeah.
Because this is what it's all about, it's about helping the design community in our region. And sometimes help can be only by giving someone an advice, by having a conversation. And I think this is something, it's something great, because this is how together we become stronger, we become more creative, we become in a way, let's say, one,
Yeah.
You can
say on that note, what advice would you give emerging designers? Something that you wish you knew at the beginning of your career, or at the beginning of your business.
It's something that we learned from when we started. It's personally to say no. When we started, we were saying yes to everything, any order we would get. It's like, yes, okay, let's do this, let's do that. And saying yes all the time gets you into trouble, because sometimes you are asked to do something as someone new in any kind of business that's more than what you can actually deliver. And so let's say I'm a new, I just got into the market, and someone asks me for a massive diamond set, and I don't even have the stones or the know-how. I'm going to end up with a disappointed client, and a bad reputation. I'm giving an extreme example, but learning how to say no and to accept and to know your capabilities in a specific time helps you become stronger, and it prepares you for the future. This is on a personal note. Now, talking to designers after our experience with the FTA, we got approached by a lot of designers who were asking us about our experience and if they should participate, and they weren't sure. And I noticed two things. The first thing is that fashion trust. If you want to be part of it, you have to be a designer, but you also have a little bit of a business mind. So having a designer who likes to design, for example, only when he feels creative, isn't helpful, you know. I mean, designing, it's also when you have a brand, when you have responsibilities towards yourself, because you have to be consistent and always be ready to deliver at 2 collections per year at least. And then it helps you. It shows also that as a designer, you have a sustainable business. Not that today you're a designer and then next year you decide, oh no, it's not my thing, let me get into something else. So first of all, there has to be, of course, the design part, but there should also be a business orientation. Number 2, a designer should always have a vision for his brand. He should know who he is, what it is that he is delivering. He has to be true to his vision and to his creativity.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time and for having this conversation with me. I've learned a lot from you guys today.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you in better days. And I really believe that better days are coming.
Yes. Alrighty, thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Abdulla.
And I'll see you soon.
You too.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye.